Hi guys and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I will be talking about a few weekly activities that I would really recommend you to do because with all these different activities, you will be able to get some pretty cool mounts. So as you will see, not all these different activities are linked to Dragonflight. Some of them are linked to previous expansions and some of them will take place, for instance, inside of raids and dungeons, and others will be open world activities. So there's quite a lot of different things that you should do. So let's start with our number one on this list. And number one is the Big Dig event that is from Dragonflight and that will be located in the Azure Span right here. So basically every hour you will be able to compete in this event, and once a week per account, not per character but per account, you will be able to do a quest that will reward you with 5,000 of the different mysterious fragments. So really all you have to do is to participate in the event, kill the boss that will spawn near the end, and then you can complete the quest and you will receive the 5,000 fragments. So the reason why you want to do this quest and why you want to collect these different fragments is simply because with these you will be able to purchase this mount right here. And as you can see, this is a pretty nice mount and you will be able to buy it for 20,000 of the different fragments. So it means that if you're doing it for a month every week on one character, you will be able to get the mount. So this is a pretty easy mount to get. And next to that, of course, remember you have tons of other cosmetic items and other cool rewards that you can purchase with these different fragments. So still something you can consider after you get the mount, because you will be able to also purchase all these other cool items. Very similar to the Big Dig event, we also have the Time Rift events in the Taldrages zone. And so as you can see, they will be located right here. So here again, once a week per account, you will be able to do this quest that will simply require you to complete one of these time rifts and kill the mini boss inside of the portal. And then when you complete this quest, you will be able to get a contained paracausality, and inside you will receive 1,000 of the different paracausal flakes, and these are the different currencies that you need in order to buy all the different mounts from the event. And so with these different paracausal flakes, as you can see, you will be able to buy the following mounts, and all these different mounts are recorded version of previous mounts from other expansions, but all of them are pretty nice. And for each of them, you will need to spend 3,000 of these different paracausal flakes. So obviously you can also farm these different flakes by simply doing the time rifts again and again and again, and by doing all the different activities linked to the time rifts. But the easiest way to get a big amount at once is by doing this weekly quest that you will only be able to do once per account. And so this is why I would really recommend you to at least do it once per week on one of your characters, because this is by far the easiest way to get some of these different flakes. And it means that if you're doing it that way, every 3 weeks, you will be able to buy one of these different mounts from the Time Rift events, which is honestly not so bad for only spending maybe 10-15 minutes doing the event. And you don't even really need to do the event, you just need to wait for the portal to spawn, and then you can enter, kill the boss, and complete the quest. So after that, of course, you also have all the different mounts that you can get in the different raids and also in the different mythic dungeons. So all of them are things that you can farm once per week per character. And these are all rare drops, so don't expect to get them really fast, because it will definitely take a little bit of time for you to get your hands on all these different mounts. Remember that right now from Mr. Panera, you can get some of them very easily by simply buying them from the different vendors from the event. And also for all these other ones, as you can see, you will be able to find them on the black market auction house if really you don't want to farm and to spend some time trying to get them on your own. And the last thing that I want to mention is, of course, the fact that right now, this mount right here, the Corcoran Juggernaut, is actually something you can farm on a daily basis, because the Siege of Orgrimmar is available on a daily basis. So it means that this one should be fairly easier to farm. But all these different things are mounts that you can farm on a weekly basis. And hopefully, by doing all these different dungeons and raids, you should be able to get a lot of them. And here, of course, you're not limited to one per account. You can do it on all your different characters on your account that can actually solo all these bosses and have a chance at looting the mount. After that, we will have the Grand Hunt event from Dragonflight. So this Grand Hunt event is something you will unlock on all your different characters when you reach renown 5 on one of your characters, and then you will be able to unlock the Call of the Hunt. And so basically here, every 2 hours, you will have one of these hunts available in one of the 4 main areas of Dragonflight. And as you can see, it will say directly on the map where this hunt is happening and when it's happening. So these different grand hunts will take place every 2 hours, again, in some of the random parts of the Dragon Isles. And what you have to do is simply kill 6 different waves of mobs and of mini bosses. And when you're done, you will be able to receive these Maruk on spawls. And inside, you will have a very, very small chance of getting this mount right here, the Planeswalker Bearer. And as you can see, it will only have a chance at dropping on your first hunt of each week on each of your characters. So it means that this is not something that you will be able to farm again and again. You can only farm it once per week per character. So I would really recommend you to just do it at least once per week on your different characters, because this is something that is fairly easy. It will become even easier when the War Within will launch, and you can, like that, have a chance at getting this pretty cool mount. And remember, if you can't solo this event and you want to find some people, you can always go in the pre-made group in custom, and sometimes you will be able to find some people who will be doing these different grand hunts. Or you can also create your own group and try and add some people to the event. After that, we have the Garrison Invasions from Warlords of Draenor, and as you can imagine, these different events will take place in your garrison. So the reason why you want to do these different invasions is because each week on each character, you will have a chance at getting these different mounts right here. The Garn Steelmaw, you also have the Giant Colt's Knot, you then have the Shadowhide Pearl Trusk, and finally you have the Smoky Direwolf. So all these different mounts will be available from the different containers you will receive at the end of each invasion. And again, you will only be able to get these different containers once per week per character. So how it works is pretty simple. All you want to do is go and talk to that guy that will be at the entrance of your garrison. And here you want to buy one of the missives that will ask you to complete a little mission in a specific area of Warlords of Draenor. When you are in this area, you just have to kill a bunch of mobs, rares, and edits. And when you reach 100%, you will then be able to go back to your garrison and complete the quest. Once you've completed the quest, you can then go back to talk to the person who sold you the missive. And here you will be able to accept the quest, and this quest will launch the invasion. So you just want to accept the quest and then say, yes, I want to launch the invasion. So after that, you will have a first step where you just need to go at the center of your garrison, kill a first few waves of mobs, and then for a few minutes, you will be able to kill all the different waves of mobs. And the only thing that you really need to be careful with is that in order to get all the different containers, including the 2 epic ones that will reward you with the mounts, you need to reach minimum 1,300 points. And so these different points are things you get by killing a lot of mobs and also by killing the different mini rares and everything that will spawn during the event. So when you've done all the different waves of mobs, you will need to kill all the last few mobs. And here sometimes a few of them are a little buggy, so you just want to go around. Normally on your minimap, you will see some red dots, so you can go where they are and kill the last few mobs. Then you want to go back to the center of your garrison, and now the mini boss will arrive. And all you have to do is to kill the boss, and then you will receive all the different containers. And if you've reached 1,300, you will also receive the Rooted Invaders Kratos Pulse, and inside you will have an extra shot at getting one of these different mounts. So again, the mounts can only drop from the 2 epic containers, and they have really, really low drop chance. And also, one annoying thing is the fact that even though you collected one of them already, you can still get it again and again. So for instance, as you can see, I'm still missing one of them, but others, I add them maybe 3 or 4 times simply because you can get duplicates. So this is something that will be a little bit annoying. You definitely need to kill a lot of mobs. You cannot do it AFK. But again, you can get 4 mounts that way, and this is something you can only do once per week per character. After that, in the Emerald Dream, you will have the Blooming Dream Seed weekly quest that you can do once per week per character. And here, all you'll have to do is to plant 3 seeds in the Emerald Dream, so something that should be fairly easy to do. And each time you do so, you will receive one of the different Seedblooms. So the quest is something you can get from the person called Talisa Whisperbloom in the main town in the Emerald Dream. And then with these different Seedbloom, you will be able to go and talk to Sylvia Whisperbloom, and she will be selling a bunch of items, including some mounts, and each of the mounts will cost you one of these different Seedblooms. So it means that by doing it 6 times, you will be able to get the 6 different mounts. The only requirements for you to buy the mounts other than having the Seedbloom is to reach Renown 18 with the Dream Warden, and so this is how you will then be able to purchase these different mounts. So it means that if you're doing it, for instance, only on one character, it will take you 6 weeks to get all these different mounts. But if you want, you can also do it in 1 week on 6 of your different characters, and you will then be able to buy the mounts if you have, of course, Renown 18 unlocked on your different characters, which should not be an issue anymore in the War Within, because normally all these different reputations will become linked to your warband, and so if you have Renown 18 on one of your characters in your warband, the other characters in your warband will then be able to also go and buy the mounts, so something fairly easy to do as well. But of course, remember, next to that, you will also have a bunch of other pets, some cosmetic items, and also some items for juice that will allow you to change the customization for some of your different forms. So this is definitely something that you also want to consider doing if you want all these cool other cosmetic items, pets, and druid forms. After that, of course, you also have all the different mounts you can get from the world bosses from Mist of Pandaria. For instance, you have these ones right here. Even though you can currently purchase all these different mounts from the vendors through the Mist of Pandaria remix, but still this is something you can do on a weekly basis in the retail version of the game. Then next to that, in Warlords of Draenor, you also have Rookmar, who will be dropping this mount right here, as you can see. Let me just find the correct version. And so this is the Solar Spirehawk. So this is another really nice mount. And finally, the last world boss that you will also have a chance at getting a mount from is from Battle for Azeroth. And this is this one right here, Dungorger Krolok. So this one is not up every week. He'll only be up every 6 weeks, I believe. So this is not technically something you can do weekly, but just another world boss to consider killing when he's available. And he will be located in Vol'dun. Finally, the last thing I would really recommend you to do on a weekly basis, again on your different characters, include the different reputation and faction quests. So for instance, in the Emerald Dream, you have a Worthy Ally, Dream Wardens, then you have Aiding the Accords. So these will definitely help you to get more of these different points and to then be able to unlock all the mounts linked to the different factions. And also in the Emerald Dream, it's very important for you to get some of these points because it will contribute towards a few things, including the Dream Infusions that will reward you with even more mounts. So just another thing to keep in mind, again, when the War Within will launch, all these different factions will become linked to the warband, and so normally it's going to be way easier if you already have a character with Exalted to then be the same with all your different characters, but also to increase the reputation for all these different factions. But still something that I wanted to add to this list. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime I wish you all a good day. Bye!